Blessings and grand risings. You see my face. Blessings and grand risings to everyone, to the Levi family. Shout out to the Levites and all of the new subscribers and the new people who will be popping in as we have these interesting conversations. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Miss Grace. You can call me Lady Grace, Miss Grace, whatever you want to. As long as you put some respect on it. Today, we're going to be talking about freedom of speech, the war on freedom of speech in America, okay? This is going to be a two-part live. We're going to come back tonight and we're going to deep dive, okay? So, as you know, there has been a constant war on free speech in America. And why this, hold on, let me make sure that we good. Let me make sure you can hear me and see me. I know the notifications is going out, but we just gonna start the commentary right now. Why this means so much to me, because there's been a war on my free speech for most of my life, okay? If you guys can resonate with this, I know we have a lot of different people on this platform from all walks of the earth, and that's what I love, being, us being differently different. And I always been differently different. And, there would be things that I would notice and I would say as a child that would make my family uncomfortable and be like, "Ugh," things like that, but I always push back and basically just been me, being honest. If I see something, I will say something, things that people would not want to say. So I'm not going to deep dive on some of my childhood traumas, but this trend has continued, and I know it happens throughout society. Okay, with not only me but many of you guys, and it's outside of our household. So today we're going to be talking about how the government is actually censoring us. And they're doing it subliminally. Now, what makes it so crazy is because Trump, our current president, has run on the guise of freedom of speech. So this is where the 52 fake out come in, and we're going to highlight that here. What's happening in the background, okay, guys? So we're going to start off with a little bit from our President Trump, okay? Just know tonight, we're streaming like this today. I think we're going to keep the mornings like this. Tonight, we're going to be using streaming equipment. I need you to turn on your notifications because we're going to get into a part two of this. This is just a build up, guys. Part two is going to include Israel, Charlie Kirk, and the plan to censor America. That's part two. So let's get started right now with what we have to show you. If you guys are having a great start to your morning, you are grateful to be alive, hit the like button. That's first and foremost. Just know whatever information I share with you, it is not to get you upset. It is not to, spark hate, but it is for us to have that conversation. We have to have conversations, okay? So hold on. Before we show this clip of Trump, you know how we do. Let's just reiterate. We're going to ask Google what Google thinks about the war on speech in America. The phrase war on speech is a political and cultural term used to describe the view of free speech is under attack in America. This view is held by different groups with attributes that alleged attacks on free speech with various sources. Okay, so we're going to keep on talking about this because I have some more to show you as far as different levels of free speech and how they're going about it. It's not just in our face, okay? It says, and this phrase is often associated with intense public debates, okay? And political debates. There is no single war on speech, but rather several overlaps in issues and points of contention, and that's what we're going to highlight. Government censorship and pressure. Some critics allege that the government officials has attempted to suppress or pressure tech companies to remove certain speech from online platforms. For example, Biden administration, excuse me, y'all, was accused of attempting to influence content moderation on social media by pressuring tech companies to remove information or misinformation. Controversially, critics of Donald Trump have claimed he attacked free speech by attempting to silence political oppositions and critical journalists during his time in office in January 2025. That's what we're going to kind of show you because he got the mainstream nervous. I'm going to be honest. He has them nervous. This is the best position to be in, just right here on YouTube, just talking to you guys, because all these political ties, baby, it'll get you in a bind like this. So basically, it says that Trump signed an executive order intended to restore free speech and end federal censorship, reflecting his view that the federal government had previously infringed on constitutional rights. And I think this is it. Let's just watch it, okay? Because we're gonna watch the progression. It's the progression for me. Let's see.
Did you hear the news? And I've stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
That's right. Trump brought free speech back. Except he didn't. Because earlier that day, Trump truthed on Truth Social a threat to any college student who protests Israel. Colleges could lose federal funding if they don't crack down on pro-Palestinian protests. Foreign college students could be sent home or imprisoned, and even American college students are deprived of their First Amendment rights. And it goes beyond that. The Trump administration has signed executive orders that crack down on what people can teach in schools. They've targeted history curriculums for teaching the real racist history of this country. So tell me, how did Trump bring free speech back when you can't criticize a U.S. ally? How is free speech being protected when college students could be imprisoned for exercising their rights? There's a whole lot more. Head to theintercept.com to check it out.
Shout out to theintercept.com for this particular reel, where he highlights some key points. But I want you to highlight this particular point as well, that they have target college students this time around. And then it's so funny because the situation I was in last year, I was talking to someone who was running for office somewhere in Illinois, and I told them, maybe you need to reach out to the college students so you can get that base in to start actually voting. Now, not paying attention to what was going on on Charlie Kirk's side of the world, that he was already doing this, hitting up colleges and everything, talking about his view and having these amazing debates. I'm being sarcastic, but it's so crazy because then at the same time where he's sparking freedom of speech in these amazing debates with students who are just being introduced to this, they don't have the mindset that we have as far as being adults, nah, y'all not calm, cool, collective. Let me just take that back. But anyway, let's just go back to this. Now, you have the college students that Charlie Kirk is actually inciting to have conversations. But then on the other end, you have Trump making an executive order that say, hey, if on college campus that they talk against Trump or whatever, Israel or anti-Semitic, these type of things, he was putting it in a bill that they go into jail. Okay, so it seems like the free speech agenda was kind of warped into only free speech is who agree with me, and that is the president. You let me know if this is not going on right now. Okay, so one of the issues that I had just praised Trump for was winning a $24.5 million lawsuit against YouTube, okay, because they deplatformed him in his first round and put it January 6th. So once that happened, they deplatformed him. Y'all remember that? Now, again, this is some of the things that we have issues with. We highlighting this because you're seeing it happen, but then we're going to get you seeing it happen in different contexts, but then we're going to bring it to a hue, and so you can see it happening right here with the mainstream media, as well as
seems to be adding more and more
names
to the list,
as well as Trump heightening it. Like, let's peep this. Now, let's just go back to what AI got to say, okay? AI went on to talk about deplatforming. Deplatforming and cancel culture. Now, you guys know I brought up cancel culture a few lives ago. Shout out to, just to stop real quick, Be Right. I'll be live tonight. No, I wasn't live last night, but we did do our food giveaway. Go check that out if you want to fill your heart up. We did our vlog yesterday. That's what we do on Wednesdays. So just wanted to, give a little promotion to that. So back to deplatforming. This is what AI has to say. The term war on speech is frequently used in the debate about cancel culture and deplatforming, the practice of removing or boycotting individuals from platforms or positions of influence because of their views. Prominent prominent people with views seen as being destructive actions are taken to attempt to punish individuals for expression of unpopular controversy opinions. Now I told you I'm the epitome of this, so this is why this conversation means the world to me. We're gonna deep dive on this, okay? While other views of them are justifiable from a social accountable perspective. Now, and then what AI is basically saying is that what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. Where you have one person calling, hey, free speech, I can say what I want, I can say terrible things, I can say whatever, but once you disagree or you come from another perspective, it don't even have to be hostile. It can be pretty logical and based in facts, okay? Because we're gonna get into tonight how Israel plays a part in this, in our censorship, okay? And a lot of people who have put information out about Israel and things like that actually use facts-based content, and we're going to talk about that. But there's a war on our speech allegedly from them. Okay, so let's just keep this in mind, where people are being deplatformed. Even y'all know who he is. He my favorite. Kyrie Irving, go check him out. He played for the basketball team in New York. I'm not really big on basketball, but y'all know what happened to him. If y'all don't remember, around the Ovid, he was deplatformed for not only sharing a book that they deemed anti-Semitic, because he, called himself a particular nation, and he didn't take this. They deplatformed him to the point that he had to sue. Was it? Tell me what team he's on. Whatever basketball team he's on, he actually sued them. Okay. So with that being said, oh, it looked like somebody walked by. Okay, that's probably a bird. Okay, with that being said, you even seeing big stars was being platformed. So people deplatformed. So people like me, you ain't even know it. Okay, I suffer from deplatforming and censorship. Just to give y'all a heads up on why I'm so passionate as a nurse, as a COVID nurse. I had a page, everything I said was disinformation. I can literally tell them how my night went as a COVID nurse, and they will say misinformation. So we all went through that, okay? Now, what we're gonna do is see what the mainstream is going through right now, and you're gonna understand how this is gonna re-trickle back into us, me and you, regular people who's streaming, and people who's typing, because they're keeping all of that to be deplatformized and censored and possibly deemed a terrorist. Because it's like pieces that's connecting, like, yeah, over here. Let me not overthink. Get ready for the ride. Let's watch this.
Of enemies he wants to single out for retaliation.
Hold on, start.
And this week, the Trump administration is taking new.
So this is brought to you by the
Trump seems to be adding more and more names to the list of enemies he wants to single out for retaliation.
I think this is no.
And this week, the Trump administration is taking new
Excuse me, this is MSNBC. Let's put this here.
steps to make their enemies list even more broad, to include basically anyone to the left of Trump and his administration. Yesterday, in response to the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, Vice President J.D. Vance made this announcement to the American public.
In a country of 330 million people, you could, of course, find one person of a given political persuasion justifying this or that or almost anything. But the data is clear. People on the left are much likelier to defend and celebrate political violence. This is not a both sides problem. If both sides have a problem, one side has a much bigger and more malignant problem, and that is the truth we must be told.
Now remember, I need y'all to highlight this rhetoric, okay? And the reason why I call it rhetoric, remember guys, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. He's basically saying that this leads to political violence, things like that, and it's not coming from the right wing. But we saw what happened on January 6th, plain and blatant, okay? Violence. We're seeing violence come, happening all over. But what they're doing to help unroll this out on us is keep us confused and say it's y'all, it's them, it's us. So don't fall for the rhetoric. Let's just finish listening, but I just want to highlight the rhetoric that be. okay, denial of the fact that your base have done something wild as well when it comes to freedom of speech. They did the same thing under Biden. Biden literally deplatformed, well, how can I say, had communications with platforms like Facebook, Meta, YouTube to deplatform us. So I'm highlighting that this is not a party issue. Okay? Okay? This is a free speech issue that involves all of us. Let's finish listening.
Now, what the vice president said there is simply not true. I mean, in fact, until recently, you could go to the Justice Department's own website, the Justice Department of his government, by the way, and read this study, which found that far-right attacks continue to outpace all other types of terrorism and domestic violent extremism. Now, today, 404 Media was first to report that the Justice Department has now quietly removed that study from their website.
Ooh.
So you can no longer read it there.
Ooh.
It does.
Ooh, I need y'all to pay attention to that. Now, I mentioned this, but this is where it get ugly. Y'all think this is not a game. They're over here playing chess and we the pawns not paying attention. Now, people could be up in their butt, oh, they removed them from being, terrorists, and they still have Antifa up there, the Black Panther Party, this, that, and the third. But look at, I'm going to bring it up right now. Basically, they have a particular organization has deemed Charlie Kirk organization as a terrorist corporation. We're going to show you that, okay? Well, you're like, who did that? Who did that? I think it's the people he was working for a little while. But I'm giving y'all a heads up about what's going on and how we're going to unravel this. It's not a them us. It's not a Democrat Republican. It's a literally elite against the lower class to control us. Realize that. Realize it, baby. Realize it. Let's go.
Take a lot of speculation to figure out why. I mean, the Trump administration wants to use Charlie Kirk's death as pretext to target even broader swaths of those they deem the political left, as they define it. And they're already telling us how they will choose their new targets. I mean, here was Attorney General Pam Bondi just yesterday on a podcast hosted by the wife of another Trump official.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
So who is the person that's going to deem what's hate speech? Okay? Who's going to be the person that deems what hate speech? Let me get to your comment real quick. Yes. Thank you, Fremont America. I'm just going to read this. The ADL has said his speech was extremist, not terrorist. Oh, don't worry. That's just a start because the ADL is connected to Israel and Israel is in America pockets. So they're going to push the camera back because you don't know who you're dealing with, okay? Yeah, we're going to move on. Not terrorist. So is that better? And why would they deem them terror, or well, how you can say extremists, when Charlie Kirk was actually, on Israel's side for majority of his political activism, forefront face for Trump, and then when he started talking a little different, now all of a sudden, go start thinking about that. But thank you for the correction. If you're going to stream it, be correct in the small things. And listen, I'm not perfect, so that's why I like you guys to come in and have some conversation. But make sure you put some respect on it because no one's going to put it together the way that I put it together, where we're going to connect the pieces to the puzzle. But thank you for correcting. Don't worry. I was just throwing some stuff out there because that's going to be tonight when we do part 2. And it says now, this is... Brenda Davis, sounds like you think that January 6th was a Republican's fault, that you have already failed for the rhetoric. Actually, what it was the face of it was Republican. The face of it was Trump. He incited, he threw the dog whistle out for these people to go do it. Plain and simple. You can't say that didn't happen. I don't care who you like. But the foundations of that was Americans being sick of what was happening in America. Their tax dollars not going where it's supposed to. People are not making money. Most of us are in poverty. It was a buildup of emotion and being mad. Okay. And maybe a lot of them probably was Democrats at one point. Okay, so that's honestly what I think January 6th was the product of, but you cannot deny that they were the face of that particular incident, or if you don't want to say Republicans, say Trump. No gaslighting. Okay, here we got to stay focused, okay, because we're trying to liberate everybody with facts. So I appreciate you saying that, but it's not rhetoric. Okay, so you're watching MSNBC, literally watching the other news station to try to watch why bipartisan news. No, what we're doing is comparing and contrasting. We watch a different, what we're doing, watching tone. I don't watch particular broadcasts because I'm like, oh my God, I love them. That's everything, and that's the only thing that I watch. I'm not like many of you guys. I don't have gang mentality. So this is probably the first time or a few times that I even pull up MSN. It depends. I listen to what is being said and the importance of it, and then I can put everything together no matter who is saying it. So you're going to see I'm going to share a lot of different, and I don't even know what side these people on, because guess what? I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I'm a separatist. They like, what is that? Just like you guys can create your own words and terms and label, I have created mine. I'm a separatist. I separate from the bullshit and I just connect to what God wants me to do. You see what I'm saying? No man is going to save me. So let's just get to that when we talk about resources and stuff. But I'm glad you guys are here, you know, giving the pushback and saying certain things that we could clarify and get this conversation going this morning. Let's go.
They're sitting very far apart in those chairs. But that aside, I mean, that was Trump's attorney general saying that she will target literally anyone expressing hate speech in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Okay. So this was a contradiction of what Trump signed in his bill, because if they said Charlie can say everything that he want to say, and a lot, hold on, let's pause. Hold on, I'm gonna play this clip. If you can say and stand on your ground that things that Charlie Kirk said was not hate speech, that he had no contention against the black community, had this crazy perspective, and he could just say anything, then why now can't I say what I want and everybody else say what they want? Now that he pushed this agenda for you of opening a conversation and things are going to the left now, it's the why for me. That's what I'm trying to. I'm not mad at a person like Charlie Kirk that went out and spewed whatever he had to do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's his soul. No matter how much I hide or feel like that was okay, and if it really was not, to condemn people, to try to, you know, misconstrue facts, and, you know, I think I'm gonna just say this. After a while, I think before the end of his life, he realized that something wasn't right, and that's what we're gonna highlight to you. And that's why he started changing his tone and saying different things. But let's play this real quick, because the mainstream have a little issue. They over there scrambling because Trump got them nervous, and then we're next. We're next. Y'all think this is a joke?
Jim Vandehei, you talked today on the show about how the right wing seems to be consolidating power over not only TV stations, local TV.
Hold on.
Jim
Sorry.
Vandehei, you talked today on the show about how the right wing seems to be consolidating power over not only TV stations, local TV stations, but also over X, possibility of doing the same thing with TikTok.
Okay. Oh, guys, do you know that TikTok is being taken over? It's been talked about for the last couple of months, and now we're going to watch to see what happened with TikTok algorithm. TikTok has been one of the main platforms that allow people to not only make money because they wasn't censoring what they want out and trying to monetize on every single thing, but it also let a lot of stories hit out until, you know, they try to start censoring. I'm noticing some censorship happening right now. So let's keep this in mind, that some changes happening. And where is this happening? Under Trump. So we're now going to have another platform that's restricted. Someone asked me, did I watch Charlie Kirk's podcast? And I'm going to be honest, no, I have not watched a full podcast. Me as a brown melanated woman that is a descendant of slaves and know it, I don't have any honor for someone like that who speaks directly against my nation and portray us as animals and lie and manipulate on stories that happen to my people. I will not disrespect myself to even indulge in that. That's why I'm gonna be honest. You have to understand us as black people. We don't indulge in y'all stuff. The way that Caucasians come over here to control our narratives and be in us, we don't do that. So most of us did not even know who a Charlie Kirk was because we didn't give a damn. But when you go back and look at things that he has said that's been highlighted by people who has debated him and everything, it says enough. You don't have to watch more than 5 2-minute clips to figure out Charlie Kirk's angle. So if you support that, that's perfectly fine. But why would I watch him? And y'all really think that us as black people are that on y'all? That we're gonna sit there and watch somebody who burned us down? Only person we gotta watch now is Trump. So no, hell no, I didn't watch no Charlie Kirk. Did y'all watch a full Assata Shakur speech? Huh? My favorite activist who, God rest her soul, the FBI never got for her freedom of speech and bringing forth revolutionary tactics to help bridge y'all movements right now. It was the Black Panthers, it was us, and y'all came into the Black Panther movement too. So put some respect on it. No, I don't know. Did you watch my people? Shit, I didn't ask you that. Stop it. So let's go. Let's act like adults. You know, we're going to have these conversations, and I'm going to let you know who we are as I don't represent all black people, but I'm going to let you know how I feel, okay? You probably never met nobody like me. Y'all going to have to get it together. Asking them stupid questions. No, why would I watch that man? He ain't like us. That's stupid. No. Gotta watch Trump. Ain't got no damn choice. All right, now watch this. Van Hollen. Let's go. What are they saying? Let's go. This is dog whistles. This is them trying to take the freedom of speech from the mainstream. Now, during COVID, they didn't have to go this route. Mainstream was just going with it. But now that, we got Trump in the office, we got pushback. So we're hearing all of the rhetoric from both sides. But these are dog whistles, guys. Let's pay attention because the war on the freedom of speech is going to end on us, not them.
But this new attack on free speech is now accelerating. Trump and his attorney general have vowed to go after groups and organizations whose views they disagree with. Just the other day, FCC Chair Brendan Carr threatened Disney, ABC, and Jimmy Kimmel. Here's what he said.
See?
I'm gonna read.
Y'all, ain't nobody mad. Y'all just forgot Jimmy Kimmel. No, he actually stood and made a great stance for freedom of speech. What happened with him and him overcoming what Disney did to him was a step in the right direction for all of us, okay? Because at the end of the day, we can have all of this talk about freedom of speech, and they take us off, and again, all roads leads to court. And then that's when the real justice comes. And no one should have freedom over no one's speech unless it's actually causing harm or it's actually a threat. Does that make sense? So we got Jimmy Kimmel, shout out to him, but that's y'all people. Y'all know I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel either. I catch a clip and I say, cool, he's cool beans. No, but I'm just here telling the truth. Y'all was okay with that. That's not okay no matter what side of the line someone is on. All roads lead to our freedom of speech being taken from us. That's what I'm saying. And if you applaud this and you like this and you're supporting this, when your freedom of speech is taken away, you can't say shit. Okay? That's all I'm saying. That's it. Now, and I know this wasn't MSN, right? Didn't I show another news station, y'all? Okay, because that's what I wanted to show was other news stations today, this morning. Is my reason just to, kind of show y'all what's going on around in the
A few
mainstream
years ago,
and how secretly Trump has a war on free speech. He's saying that, hey, I made this executive order for free speech. It's never going to happen again. He just won this amazing lawsuit. Like, whoa. But then on the other hand, you're creating policies and, creating a tone that say, hey, if you say this or do this, you're going to be a terrorist. You're going to be pulled off of platforms. Okay? And don't think that I'm being extreme when I say terrorists, because tonight we got a part 2 where I'm going to show you, we're going to go over the bill that they're trying to push through right now that's going to deem a lot of us terrorists just for doing things like this. Okay? This is how it's coming. It's like boiling up, all this stuff getting in the pot. Cooking in the kitchen with grace. All right? I'm just letting y'all know it's going to be your freedom. It's them today. You tomorrow. Please hit the like button. I appreciate you guys being here with me because I love freedom of speech. I'm going to talk until they shut me up again, or at least try to. Fuck, hey, we're going to keep it going. You don't understand the restriction of freedom of speech that I had, okay? Not only on these platforms, being ICU nurse in the middle of COVID, but even being in the hospitals, can't even say, hey, y'all know this may be connected to the jab until now. How many years have they put restraint? I'm just going off real quick on us, where I couldn't even tell a doctor, like, this patient took like 5-6 vaccines right now, and they're having clots that we can't even detect with a D-dimer test or none of that. Yeah, what do you think is going on? I couldn't even say that. I'm sorry, I just went off. God forgive me. This is why I'm mad, because we could have saved more lives just by being able to tell the truth. But the tone was the jab wasn't doing nothing. The jab wasn't doing nothing. And now we have the whole damn set of meanings that everybody's ignoring, not a lot, but they are discovering, revealing all of the truths behind that. Stop it. That's why I'm passionate. That's why I'm a little passionate, because I've been living through this since a child. Then then when all of the stuff where we was researching about the child abduction, the trafficking, and Bohemian Grove. Y'all remember like 8 years ago, all of that was just hitting. Y'all know what we talking about, the 10 hatters that they call us 10 hatters. And now today, Bohemian Grove is right. You know that we have secret societies that's going on. You know that there's a major child sex trafficking issue going on in America that they're trying not to talk about no more because it's politically not good for Mr. Trump. But then tonight we're going to talk about those connections, because it's going to go into just child sex trafficking, part 3. Okay, because when we get into some of the stuff where we talk about Kirk, his connections, his wife, Israel, Epstein, don't get it messed up. We're going to talk about this tonight. And this goes right back to our freedom of speech, because they don't want us to do this shit. Okay, it's bigger than you. It's bigger than your likes. It's bigger than your emotions. This is a takeover, baby. Let's watch this, okay? Now, we're 32 minutes into the broadcast. We're going to probably end before the hour time, but most likely, if not, we're going to get to some of y'all comments. Like I said, keep it grown, keep it respectful. Y'all can say what y'all want. I don't care what wake of the earth you're from, because at the end of the day, we're human, and you'll realize that by the end. Because if it ain't me, it's going to be you tomorrow if we don't stick together. Let's go. Good morning.
The chairman of the subcommittee, or ranking member of the subcommittee.
And this is not MSN. This is U.S. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. This is
appreciate your service and
U.S. Prime News. I don't know if this right, left. Y'all tell me, since y'all so good with who right and left. And then we just watch this together. But we're not going to watch all of it. Trump war on free speech, media, academia, and the First Amendment under attack. Yeah, and nobody realizing it. Because he could say what he want, but we can't say what we want. Nobody else could. Project 2025.
you are recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, there is a clear and present danger to free speech in America, but it is not across the Atlantic Ocean. It is right here in Washington, sitting in the Oval Office. At a time when the greatest threat to the First Amendment rights of Americans resides in the White House, our Republican colleagues have brought us here today to talk about Europe. They've invited a fringe politician from the United Kingdom to attack the laws regulating certain conduct online in his country and the European Union. laws that are intended to combat disinformation by hostile foreign actors, hate speech, and other fraudulent or criminal conduct. They have sounded the alarms about these foreign laws, but when it comes to the Trump administration's suppression of speech in this country, Republicans are curiously and dangerously silent. There is virtually no corner of society that Donald Trump and his administration have left untouched by their effort to impose their radical views on the American people and to stamp out dissent. Since taking office, President Trump and members of his administration have used the powers of the executive branch in an attempt to silence their political opponents by attacking our core democratic institutions, such as academia, the legal profession, and journalism. These are moves straight
Did he not do that? The legal profession, academia, and the news that he's attacking right here in front of you? But it's not totally affecting us yet. It's going to affect us later. Academia is the colleges. This has been dangerous, y'all. I know y'all think, I was thinking that, okay, when I told the other politician who was running to go to the colleges out there on the South Side, get the young people involved, that person wasn't spewing hate and rhetoric. They're dealing with a population that's not even mentally developed yet to make decisions according to the development of your frontal cortex. 26 for women, 28 for men, okay? These kids that's subjected to the major experiment that we talked about when it comes to AI, given these type of psychosis, has pushed us into a whole nother realm. Can you see the pot being filled in? So now allegedly we're having our young college students that they're trying to make extremists too. They made a statement about allegedly Charlie Kirk's, and they took it off, or maybe it's not there. I'll look for it tonight, possibly. That Charlie Kirk's alleged killer got radicalized in school. Highlighting this boy didn't even finish a month in school, even though he got a full college ride. You see what I'm saying? It's the rhetoric for me. So they tried to push that tone like, yeah, the colleges are pushing this, and now we can regulate you with what you can teach, what you can do, just by, putting this within the guidelines that we set so you could get federal funding. You don't see how this kind of trickles in? Like, I'm a thinker here. I'm like, yo, this is just getting bigger and bigger. The web is like, whoa. And the blessing in is this, that since he's going after people in the legal position, since he directly said that he was going to go after lawyers that talk against him, there's groups of lawyers across the United States that stand strong on liberty and justice, and they know the Constitution, and that's what's going to help us. They're going to fight these cases, because all roads leads to court. We can be here talking all day, all morning about how we feel, but guess what? When they implement this stuff and we don't push back properly, that means that we fucked up unless we take it to court. That's why I respect the lawyers that's out there that's standing on the Constitution, standing on humanity and liberty. But let's just listen a little bit more to what he has to say. We're going to get to the last two videos where we're going to kind of branch off so we can get into tonight's topic and get y'all ready for tonight, because we're going to do a deep dive. We're going to talk. Y'all going to talk. We're going to look at different content from different areas, and we're going to put the picture together, things that you may have not seen, because I truly believe that they use Charlie Kirk as a catalyst to not only control the tone, bring young people in, but also spark this war on freedom of speech. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys for, I guess some of you have issues with me being black and the way I look, and y'all want to see my hair. Thank you so much for the people that's keeping them on point to actually listen to the subject matter. This is what happens, and that's why we don't get anywhere, because we are distracted on what physically lies instead of just listening to the content. So if you have to close your eyes and just listen to this as a podcast so I can help you wake up to humanity, do that, okay? Thank you to all the people in the audience who have common sense. They are adults. They understand how critical thinking works, how active conversation works, and understand that you don't have to agree with everybody, but we put respect on each other's name. You know what I'm saying? Thank you.
Out of the authoritarian playbook. For example, the Trump administration has taken aim at colleges and universities, trying to bend them to its will by withholding billions of dollars in scientific research funding. A short-sighted move that will set back innovation in this country by decades and in some cases, including at my alma mater of Columbia, it has demanded onerous conditions that infringe on academic freedom. On these same college campuses, students are being kidnapped for writing op-eds, and others are being deported for participating in protests.
And guess what? Hold up. And others are being hanged for possibly being black. But let's move forward, okay? Don't forget about that.
The Trump administration has also targeted disfavored law firms that dare to challenge the president or to hold him accountable, or simply for hiring an attorney who clashed with Trump in the past. Some have sadly capitulated to its campaign of extortion. The president has even taken aim at the arts and humanities, launching a hostile takeover of the Kennedy Center and censoring exhibits at the Smithsonian Institution, attempting to whitewash American history.
Y'all have to re-listen to this so you won't forget that this is what he has done. And only, not what, we're in the 10th month now. Oh my God, time is moving fast and slow at the same time. He's dumping and unloading on us. But these are all steps to take our freedom of speech away, as well as to change history. And I said, y'all can be okay with him doing this to the black community and historical black sites, but you're next. Because they're trying to make the Charlie Kirk story their story, and you got other people who saying this is not what happened. So they made their own history with Charlie Kirk and said this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. We don't need him no more. Let's move on. But somebody else out there like, no, that's not the real history. So don't think that they just changed our cultural history. It goes with censorship and the change of history, reality. Okay? Us first, you next. So what I'm going to do is put this at the bottom of the video so you can watch the rest. Now, shout out to my people in the audience who don't know me. I've been a streamer for a while, okay? And I'm just going to give y'all a heads up. We're going to get to this before we get to the end.
Unusual, aggressive, and quite possibly...
Now, I think this is not MSN. Who's this? Oh, this is MSN. Yes. Oh, I got another one. But this is what I want to tell you guys. One, I'm not a struggling streamer. I've been streaming for a couple of years now. Second time I started my page over because the first time it was very controversial. For the last year, and so I've been basically engulfed in the south side of Chicago, going after issues against the Democrats and their corrupted bullshit, okay? Excuse my language. So with that being said, the war on speech, the war on freedom of speech happened to me directly, where actors were paid, cyber teams, because they have cyber teams, do you know that, was paid to attack my page and get me out of the algorithm. One of the things that I was fighting for was a case, and I still am, of a young girl who was shot by the police out there. Okay, and they're really upset with me. So I'm telling you this because my streaming equipment that I used to use, which was StreamYard, I can't even get notifications out. So I prayed to the Most High Yah, because y'all know I'm a Hebrew, and I said, hold up, you know what I'm doing and what they did to me. How can I get my words back out? Because you know they censored me because I was the one that say, be free, speak up, don't be afraid of them. Oh yeah, go. They had the residents afraid to fucking talk. On the south side of Chicago, you thought Republicans is bad. They were over there bullying residents. Some residents, let's not talk about that, okay? But why I'm doing it like this? Because God opened up the path. And I said, hey, you want me to go raw like this? I got to start from the beginning? He said, yes. And that's what I'm doing. But tonight, we're going to use a little streaming equipment. And I'm hoping that you guys actually get the notifications. Because if you look at my other videos, I have 200 videos about the corrupted mayor of Dalton in South Side Chicago. So don't think I'm a Democratic talking head. Okay? So just to let y'all know who I am. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. God said do it like this in the morning. This is what's been working. And that's what we're doing. But don't worry. Tonight, we're going to get back to those deep dives because that's what I do. So we're going to be streaming tonight. You're going to see it a little different. You know, I'm doing different streaming equipment because they literally hit my YouTube page. I don't know how. I don't know why. 3 months ago, after I made a bombshell finding in their lie of an investigation where the cop killed a 19-year-old, my page was severely struck. Go look at the numbers. It started 3 months ago, baby. So let's just put that out there so you guys can know who I am, okay? But I like this form. It actually makes me comfortable. You know, this whole year was a big problem for me because I had to pretend. I had to be like, everybody's okay, when I knew dirt on most of the politicians out there. I couldn't even speak my damn piece. That's why I'm here like this, okay? Them all, everybody. I'm telling on everybody. I'm never scared. So know who you're talking to here, okay, guys? Just get to know Lady Grace. Now we're gonna get to this. Bondi retreats. Trump DOJ backtracks after attacks on freedom of speech. Aim mega crackdown on liberals. That's why when somebody comes like, you a liberal, I don't know what you is. Don't put me in this category so AI technology start putting me in there with y'all. I'm my own damn person. So do y'all want to watch MSN or no? Because I know y'all like, no, that MSN. I'm not watching CNN. Because CNN, they be saying crazy stuff. I showed them the other day.
A legal effort, separate from what happened that day, to now continuously try to crack down on free speech and on their perceived domestic political opponents. Yet they're citing the shooting repeatedly as the rationale. And that brings us to a major legal mistake by the Justice Department's top official, Pam Bondi, coming amid major questions also facing the FBI's top official over this very case. And so before we go any further into the news tonight and the problems Bondi's facing, I want to tell you the legal facts. Free speech is protected in the U.S. It's protected under law and the Constitution. So no single politician or attorney general or official or even a president can change that. And free speech obviously does not just include all the great stuff we might agree on, like this is a great country, or you like apple pie, or the sky is blue. As anyone with passing knowledge of this field knows, free speech is tested and more important sometimes when it includes things that people find offensive, distasteful, even hateful. The Supreme Court has ruled it's a bedrock principle of the First Amendment that the government may not prohibit speech simply because it's offensive or disagreeable.
Thank you.
That's fundamental. Any law student knows that, let alone a lawyer or someone who passed the bar, let alone the top lawyer at the Justice Department. Yet Donald Trump's pick, Attorney General Bondi, is, as of last night, saying something that is legally incorrect. Claiming hate speech is not protected free speech. I just showed you that it is, covered by the First Amendment.
Yes, it is.
As enshrined by multiple Supreme Court rulings. And she says the government will go after people using words that the government or she deems hate speech. Now that legally false claim coming from the person who's supposed to uphold the Constitution has drawn swift rebukes across the spectrum. That includes basic fact checks that what she said is not the law. Fox News' Brit Hume saying Bondi should know hate speech is protected under the First Amendment. Longtime lawyer and Republican Senator Ted Cruz correcting her and objecting to this attempt to seize federal power for a speech crackdown in the wake of this terrible shooting. So that's been going on here.
And he pretty much said what I said in less than 2 minutes. They're using now the Charlie Kirk death as a way to attack our free speech. After Trump gaslighted his whole base, now we're going to get it too. This is two. First, he gaslighted about the Epstein files. Now he's gaslighting about the freedom of speech. Okay? Made a whole executive order for his freedom of speech. But now it's going to be what the government defines hate. You can say, I don't like this. But this is the thing. With that cancel culture, it made the definition of hate expand because people became too emotional. And y'all too emotional. Y'all babies. Like, oh my God, they called me ugly. Oh my God, you know how many, at first when I came here, it was nigga coming down the line. Nigga. You think that bothered me? If I let that bother me, I done had a heart attack. Just like the hell what y'all doing. Freedom of speech, I'll let them say it. But here, you can't flood my comment in my particular house with your stuff. That's why separate but equal is fine. I never went over to Charlie Kirk page and said shit because I probably wouldn't agree with what he said. Go and do that. But freedom of speech is what it is. But speech that basically is threatening, where you're saying you're gonna harm someone, or what did they say? You can't run into public place and say it's a fire and it's not, like things like that uproute the public and make it a safety issue. We can't do that. We got to be humane about it. But I agree. Now hate speech is under fire, and it's sad because we're talking about hate speech, and that's something that we really don't want. But if they go after hate speech, what they deem hate speech, it's what they deem hate speech. So who says what you said or what I say could be deemed. I don't care what color you are. He's going after his own base, his own people. So let's just get to this last part of this live. I want to say thank you for being here with Grace Levi. Y'all will see me in full form tonight. You know, some people were worried about, I guess, my hair and the weave and stuff. We'll look cute tonight for you guys. But this is how we do the morning show. Hit the like button, straight raw. I'm not AI. I'm not bought. I'm not paid for. This is about telling the truth, uplifting the people enough that you can make decisions for you and your household. The gang shit. Excuse me. I'm keeping it real. Because when the lights go off and your bills can't be paid, these people who you going after and Trump, he's going to be on a plane or a jet to another country or to another planet fucking with Elon Musk. Excuse me? Over here acting like y'all got a key to getting out when they fuck everything up if we let them. Ain't got no damn key. We gonna all be up shit's creek. All I'm saying is that I know the book. We're getting to the last thing. Y'all know I'm a Hebrew. And listen to this. I'm a Hebrew and I'm separate from my own people, my own camp. I'm separate from my own camps of people because of their extremism. I don't mind being separate and walking a narrow road. So the people who don't mind being separate and walking a narrow road, I'm here for you. This is the platform. Okay, so let's read this. Let me see. Let me pull it up right now. Turning point is exposed. Hold on. Because these were the people, and this is what's going to get us into our our live tonight. Turning point now deemed, what did he say? Extremists or not terrorists? Bamboo, extremists. Okay. Let's go to this. What is this? Anti-Defamation League takes down extremist research after Musk leads right-wing backlash. Hold on. At the forefront of the movement. Hold on. Turning point. Now deemed terrorist by ADL. Let's put ADL. I know I should have had to pull it up, but it will be. Oh, snap. Oh, this getting good. Wait, y'all. Wait. I'm not. Let me hold my tongue. I just came across an article that came up 13 hours ago. FBI cut ties with a Anti-Defamation League. FBI director says, whoa, we got a lot to talk about. Oh, snap. Trump FBI cuts with ADL. That's Israel. Okay? That's the one who got Kyrie Irving in trouble for sharing that book and saying anti-Semitic. Them the people who in America pockets, and we're going to show you that they are having, not secret, but public meetings with YouTube content creators and extreme content creators to control America's tone. All right, this gets a little deeper. We're going to go into this part two. We're going to start off with the ADL and their announcement about Charlie Kirk's regime. And then we're going to go into what the FBI had to say. Oh, snap. This turned into a damn zoo. Do you want to be part of it, or do you want to watch on the side and get prepared? Because if you do, this is the place for you. So with that being said, we will be back tonight at 8 p.m. Please hit the like button. You know what we do. If y'all want to see a nice conform live through stream, we're going to have that tonight. But in the mornings, we're going to be right here in my kitchen, cooking in the kitchen, talking about this. Okay? So let me just look at y'all comments. Thank you so much. No problem. Please, when you think, try to protect the people, not the Democrats, know the Republicans. They just took my mom took your other comment down. Get it together. I know we ain't perfect. What are you talking about? What, Sir Leonard? I hate the ADL. I'm on their list. Damien, you are? I don't know if I'm on their list, but as a Hebrew, you know we on their list. And you know what they said? ADL said? They said that the black Americans are their #1 enemy. And yeah, they said that like a year ago. I was like, what the fuck? The black Americans don't even know that they the original you. What you talking about? Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. They gotta warn everybody that we don't even know. So I hope. I don't even give a damn if I'm on a list. I've been on the DJ list since I've been a little girl. My mama probably called and told like, hey, my daughter 5 years old and she be talking crazy. She be saying that the government be lying. My mama probably told, I don't care. Like Netanyahu coming after TikTok next. They already got X. Exactly. And they got X because Elon, Mr. Space Elon, he has the same, how can I say, ancestry backing or backup or made up just like them. I'm going to move forward. We're not going to get too much on that. But you know, as you say, TikTok is next. And we're praying that, I don't know what happened. Because I'm going to be honest. I don't be on TikTok a lot. But TikTok is the place to go when you want raw and uncut videos. And from boots on the ground. They wasn't holding so much back. So that's going to do a lot for us. A lot to us, okay? Who took that TikTok comment down? All right, stop removing comments so I can see. Let them talk. I don't care. Let these people talk. If they want to be disrespectful, let them talk. Don't remove the comments. It's all right. Don't worry about it. We'll be all right because they removing some comments, and I want to talk to people. You know, I don't mind. You call me, you're going to look stupid, okay? There is nothing else going on. Well, no, right now, I just wanted to get to the comments or whatever and y'all get to know me. Because of that Ellis guy, we got more money than Elon. Tell me what you're talking about. Again, we're going to wrap up this morning live. I want to say shout out to all my mods. I love you guys. I know what you do. Y'all be hating when people be up here disrespecting me, but don't worry, yo. You know I got tough skin. I want to hear these people comments. Let them talk and let them reflect who they are, because once they come down with this freedom of speech and they done said a bunch of crazy shit, they're going to go to each people's account and start running keywords and all types of stuff. And y'all going to be caught up in some shit too. Go ahead and keep this talking reckless. Hate speech is hate speech. They're going to have some place where we could tell, just like back in the day when they were going around through the Christian crusades. If y'all know about that, talk about Christian, that was given to us by God. No, they went around murdering people so y'all could be Christians. But at that time, you know what they had? They had councils where they would have people be able to go and tell on their neighbors of what they did and report them, and they'll come and get you. So that's what they're going to have, and they're going to keep y'all stupid comments and be like, he's a hate, they a hate, look at it. Pull that shit up. It could be deleted right now. You know YouTube could pull it back up. Mind what you say, baby. Just like I said to Charlie Kirk. Well, not to him, but about Charlie Kirk. He died the way he lived and talked. Take that in consideration, y'all. You're not that special. So let's continue, keep fighting for freedom of speech. Tonight we're gonna go into part 2. And we're going to get into, they're going to probably be mad at me, y'all. Y'all going to have to help me, because this is how I get in trouble all the time. I go too deep, and I go to the left, and I go straight to the heart. We're going to be talking about Trump, Charlie Kirk, ADL, his wife, Epstein. It's about to go down tonight, okay? Love you guys. Have a beautiful day, and stay sucker free. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end, we win. And we want to be the people who reign with our Lord and Savior, Yahshua, Jesus Christ, like he said in the book. He's going to reign after this empire is destroyed. Are you with me? Have a good day.